I mean, so generally for the undergrad WAEC, that's the most simple one for undergrad.
This guy. How you now do it now? Without your WAEC, how do you want to do it?
I have my WAEC service. Special center.
With your special center result, how do you want to do it?
Welcome to Sonigerian Podcast.
Sir.
Drum roll. Bang, 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 bang. Yes, we are back with another banger episode. And you know how we do it so Nigerian now. We're always here to help you guys. We always bring the best advice, best tips, and best tricks in surviving as a Nigerian youth. So today, we're going to help you guys travel. You know, you're in Nigeria now, but we'll help you travel. Those of you that are abroad, just enjoy your life. Just enjoy your life as a Nigerian. But yes, today's episode is to, help facilitate Japa. But before we go on, remember, I'm your humble self, Damian Rose. My partner in crime, as usual.
Isaac, Medici, whatever you want to call me. Sorry, I'm not really in the mood.
Yeah, because there's a new government.
The atmosphere is just...
You can't be in the mood with a new government. But today, we have our Oga at the top. When I say Oga at the top...
Very special Oga.
Oga boss. You know when they say Oga boss is different from boss. Oga
001.
boss. 001.
001.
Yes. Our Oga, please introduce yourself.
The kind of wine you guys do that. If I want to hire my uncle and auntie that time, you don't come. You don't watch their car.
We will see bill you after now.
No.
This is what
You guys give us election money.
Election money.
I belong to the Shishile side. We don't give, we don't collect. Yeah, my name is Oladipo Adeboale. I'm lead consultant for Ile-iwe Education and my Japa Limited. Your Japa partners.
Managing director, CEO, COO, CFO, everything.
Guys, you heard me say...
He's my personal boss.
You heard me say consultant, right? It's low-key good.
All these consultants, they get money.
No, the one thing I hold to my heart is that Mr. Adepo is a very humble person. So he doesn't like all those... Managing the CEO. That's what it should be claimed, but lead consultant.
Don't worry, I know all these people. You could just try to give us election money.
Yeah, now the accounts they find. We don't find title. No worry.
Nice to be here, guys.
Yeah, it's nice to have you. Yeah. You're going to just tell us how to navigate, because I go find my visa. So if we should expect Canadian.
Well, you won't travel. Where you on? You
see, anywhere we receive
you be like all the Malawi guys.
Anywhere we receive me, I go.
Sudan.
Mauritius is really nice. It's one of the best. It's one of the most.
That's Eastern Africa.
We could talk about Mauritius. It's a really lovely place to go.
Is it landlocked? Is it a landlocked country?
Is it what?
Is it a landlocked country?
I don't know. What
is it what?
Landlocked. You don't know English.
Guy, why you not feeling your future? You know why you don't know English. So I know why you're hyped that we don't know landlocked. What's that?
Best in geography, SS2C.
You.
I failed.
Which school?
Funny story about politics, right?
Yeah.
My geography and economics, I was a politician.
How does that even
under the Mimiko administration? I can't even talk about that just right now. Under Labour Party. Like, I can't even talk about that just right
somebody
now.
That studied a politician was doing geography. I'm not understanding.
Long story short, he never used to come to class. And I'm sure I failed the geography. Pretty sure. I think I got E8 or D7. Pretty sure.
Geography is also be intellectual scholar.
No, but I know this guy didn't pass geography. All this one is.
I'm actually serious. Actually, one best in geography.
Are you serious?
See, I shocked myself.
You promised to show me your work results.
Don't worry.
You promised to show me your work results.
I mean, we're talking about Japa. He wants to Japa. We'd probably have to see the.
No, we definitely would see his work results.
You don't use WAEC results. That's why you tell us all the things that we need. You tell us all the documents. We are getting WAEC results.
You need WAEC results now. You run now. That's where he will catch you. You will run your WAEC.
That's special center. Okay, I'm good.
I saw one tweet here that I think GRV, he had to pick between MIT and Harvard or something. As he say, a cyber cafe guy picked the school, picking learning for how.
Guy, let me lie to you. That's what I never go to cyber cafe. My parents were not even around. My parents were not around. So I just went to cyber cafe with my dad's PA. The guy also, which school?
I think flex. That's what we do that time.
For jam.
That's P.
That one is low flex. It's not high flex.
Low flex.
But it also just Lasso, Covenant. Yeah, let's just put Covenant.
Hey,
And that's how my is coming on too.
guy,
It's not as if I planned it in my head or anything. No,
bro,
it's
that is
something.
cyber cafe go look you. If you Yoruba or Igbo, they say Yoruba.
What's your
Yeah,
state of origin? Once they don't confirm.
Put Ife.
Mm.
Put Ife for him. That's how they used to
Yeah.
pick school, universities.
And again, this is why you need a better Nigeria, because everything was backward. Like, how do you make that decision for me based on
Tribe.
tribe? You don't even know my result yet.
Do you get?
I picked Unilag and Futa Akure. You didn't know my.
And they pick Yaba Tech for me. I don't even know.
I
Guy,
used to-
guy
they-
look me
They,
pick Yaba Tech.
they don't know say Napoli go fit you normally. They look you. They don't say Napoli go fit you.
I don't know what you did to Isaac, but you had to.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I'll get to you. 1-0. Before you guys enjoy this sweet episode, make sure you are subscribed on YouTube, subscribed on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcast, everywhere you can find us. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube. That one is very important because you cannot be getting free tips and tricks from our guy at the top for free. Everything like this, we're giving you. All these actually like things that we're giving you today is you can't find it anywhere.
Yeah, you can't
else.
find it actually.
That's why so Nigerian, we always cater for young people. That's our first goal. So, but speaking of new governments now, like, who did you vote for first? Let me ask you before I'll fight you.
I mean, character,
This your
character, competence, and capacity. Like,
Hey.
that's, like we are consistent. With
all these
that.
food for thoughts for what top you vote for.
I mean,
But I know. Like
I'm
you
told-
said, character, competence.
there are
It's only
18
really-
candidates, right?
Yeah?
There are 18 candidates, right?
They were 18.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm pretty sure some collapsed, and I saw
Yeah,
I saw
yeah.
one yesterday that is now siding with the declared winner because I guess he wants to get something.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely not.
There's
They
only
get a
probably
position.
Me too.
There's certainly only
When
one.
during when they were collating on like all the TV stations,
Mhm.
channels arise, they're only showing like on their screen you just see only APC, PDP, LP. I'm like, but there are other people. So why is it only this?
See,
Yeah.
on my life, I'll be honest
You
with
did not know
you.
it was 18.
I just thought that there were 6 or 5.
So even though it was 4 because NMPP at some point,
Yeah,
Kwankwaso
yeah,
was somewhat.
yeah.
I don't know Kwankwaso.
Did that guy win any
See,
states?
he won.
Yeah.
He won one.
Yo, you won one state.
Yes,
Kwankwaso did the Lord's work with Kano. Well, like it cleared it like 1 million votes.
I did not know.
Yes, now.
I-
He's a former governor now.
Okay, true,
King,
sure.
red-
That's-
you know what they got red hat. Just like you see this my hat, right?
Mhm.
But Kwankwaso is red hat. When you see red hat, you know.
So,
they
Mr.
are
Dimo,
aligned
where are you
Kwankwaso.
king of? Where?
No, I'm just
I did not know Kwankwaso until
Ile-iwe.
King of
that-
Ile-iwe, king of Japa.
King of Japa.
Yeah.
That's you
I
can
like,
see.
I like that. That's it.
King
I
of
hope you.
Japa.
Well, I won't say you said.
We'll
it
build
first.
on the
that.
brand. We'll build on. I'll sell you the.
So there was only one guy with character, competence, and capacity, and we also you could
did-
also say LUP. You know,
75
Depending on where
LUP.
you're-
75.
KK.
Yeah. So depending on what your polling unit, if you deliver your polling unit, I certainly deliver my polling unit. With
Sure
malaria,
man.
cough,
Sure,
and catarrh.
sure
In the
man.
hot sun.
Sure man.
You know,
I deliver my
we
polling unit.
deliver the polling unit with
We
a
need
lot
more
of-
citizens like
Proudly.
you.
Yeah, I deliver.
See,
Well,
like you and I. We need more citizens like you and I.
You
you deliver your polling unit.
did you deliver your polling unit?
Which words?
I delivered now.
Which-
The Twitter polling unit. I deliver Twitter polling unit.
Yeah, it
Twitter polling
it
unit,
was
so
an
I
interesting
delivered.
experience.
Yeah.
Mama, Papa picking,
Mama, Papa picking.
teaching our mothers. I mean, if you are a good child and you can sort of direct your parents where to go. So like my mom and her sisters directed my grandmother who is 86 where to go. They showed her the sign. When she got there and she didn't see the ballot paper with the mama, Papa, she was wasting time. So she wasn't seeing it. She was not seeing the regular ones. And I saw mothers carrying their phones. With,
That's how it should be.
Yeah, with Labour Party.
In my house, it
logos
was
and
like
whatnot.
it was a big fight. Or no, let me not say big fight, but it was because I mean, for me, I won't lie. Let me be honest here. I had a lot of clashes with friends and family during this election period because I feel like who you vote for, especially in this time, shows your values and where your head is at,
Yeah.
where your mind is at. So I'm like, why would you see this kind of person that wants to vote for him? Like, why would you want this kind of person to lead 150 or 200 million Nigerians?
I don't know that we have.
So
we
did
don't-
you cut up anybody because
Yeah, I
of
was
this?
gonna ask about-
So let me give you this funny story. So I cut off a particular person, like he's my guy, like he's my brother, safe, and like we had a whole issue. In short, that morning, so we have a group chat about 3. So that morning, one of us, that one is not in the country. So he just came to the group chat that morning. I'm like, this guy, so you really want to vote. Like, funny enough, that particular guy that's not in the country, he has been very neutral in the whole situation.
Yeah.
Like, when me and that other guy are arguing, he would just be like, don't do this, don't say this, blah, blah, blah. But that morning, he just came and like, bro, this person you want to vote for is literally like the same age as my grandmother, and like they're almost in the same, just slow and
Same
all
age
that.
with our guys' grandmothers.
Do you know, exactly. So it's just like
my grandmother can drive. I don't know if he can drive.
So it's just like, so he was like, so it's just like me saying I want to go and vote for my grandmother when I know that she's not clearly
my
physically
grandmother
fit.
can't remember stuff, man. My grandmother behaves like a baby today, and we love it because that's really how it is. So I can't imagine that. I have a father figure who, and I told him, I said, you are in your 60s.
Yeah.
We are not even, we are in our first quarter. You want to put a man who is older than you to come and be my
Bro.
And we don't have time today to talk about tribalism and all these racism.
But everything is intertwined, man.
Because we are Yoruba, we should vote a man. Or because he's been our governor here.
They'll tell you,
Like,
I went to the market, I went to Ketu Kusin market. I was like, I asked the man, what did you vote? I said, Tiwan. That's what they'll say. Tiwan, our person.
And you know, it's the same way here. It's the same our turn. Is my turn. Yeah.
Low key. I mean, we can't. You'll seem insultive, but who you voted tells me who you are.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Have you heard who you voted?
I don't
tells
think
who you
he's
are.
a saint, or I mean, he's 60s, probably made mistakes in his life and whatnot. But first of all, he was the only candidate that nobody could bring any allegation to come and say, okay, at some point in life, this man did this, and he was charged.
And they had months.
Instead, I was seeing Northerners come about 1990 when, this guy has been a billionaire since 1990, where he was supporting Northerners' businesses, like investing. Like, the only thing you can find with this guy consistently is good news from Northerners, from Southerners. So, why do you want to vote the guy from PDP? Why do you want to vote from APC? Like, who are you? Like, let's know, like, how in touch with life are you? And, this Saturday now we're going to vote. Go to the markets. Go and talk to market women. Hear their problems.
Grassroots
because
politics.
Those ones, they will collect money, they will collect bucket, and they will have to vote. But like, if you hear them talk and hear their problems, these guys have been in charge of Lagos for 24 years. With all the billion, and they've borrowed and borrowed and borrowed. Yeah. And it's not like Lagos is here and every other person is here.
Yeah.
Like, people are suffering.
Lagos is literally, I think, second worst city to live in the world.
Dirty, lawless,
insecure.
And in the 90s, used to be one of the most metropolitan cities.
It's not anything. Because if, for instance, our LUP did not come out, we probably would have had to vote between the two guys, right? And then that would have been a big headache, because I probably would have taken the lesser evil.
I'll just follow my PVC.
I'll
just follow my and because I will not be, my hand will not be in touch with knowing that, like, my conscience just biting me, and if it gets worse.
So I like what he was saying about for months they were trying to dig dirt and they didn't find anything, and like, I think we spoke about it in the office, and I had this conversation with a friend. So, can I say I want to run for office, or can I say I want to do something, and then people would come out and say, "Oh, this is who I am,"
consistently,
and it's all clean stuff.
Yeah, and that really is it. Let's even say from 1 to 25, you did some stupid things. Let's say from 25 to 50, when maybe you're running for president, you're 55. Like, what do co-workers, classmates, what do people say
about you? And it really matters.
And that's really, really.
I mean, speaking on that now, like, kind of the deed is done, except only, we entrust what we voted for to fight, and we are fully back.
We hope in our judiciary.
We are open and putting our faith and trust in our
legal system.
My own hope is in God, though.
God is a factor.
The Senate president just became a senator for the what? This is not the 4th time in a row, 5th time in a row, and he didn't contest my mind.
He didn't.
Let's be realistic.
He didn't.
Don't worry, you get the way Nigerian politics be like this.
See, I'm told Obi has never lost any judicial case and all that.
Yeah, even his first when he contested Anambra.
Yeah, 3 years. They went
twice. He went to court twice and he won twice.
Blah blah blah. All those things that apply here for me. Trust me, this is the time to be a praying person.
let's be optimistic.
So, Mr.
Your
Dikwa,
Supreme Court just made a senator
who did not run for
who did
primary?
not run for primary, who against the electoral act that was just signed.
We're told never to give up. We're told never to give up.
So,
Don't
Mr.
give
Dikwa,
up.
so Mr. Dikwa, you've accepted.
You don't accept faith.
No. So I'm a person of faith. Yes, so I've accepted my faith. I'm a person of faith, and my faith is that I can't trust in anybody. I can't trust in God. But anything can happen, man. Anything can happen. Anything can happen, because we're looking at the IRF today. We're seeing that the results are not tallying. Like, I woke up this morning, I was just really telling my family, I'm like, are we in a dream? So this guy took papers. I don't know, he didn't even take papers because by the law, like some commissioners and what was he calling them? Scope. It was very funny. It was like comic. So they gave him the papers and he said, and they counted the vote and all that. But his website is showing
Different
results.
Obi Akpo was announced 80,000 APC LG. His website is showing LP 175,000. So it's like I'm in a dream.
Nigeria is unreal.
Don't worry, Nigeria.
Your enemy, PDP, is saying Labour had 950,000 plus votes in Lagos.
Even your enemies.
So it's like I'm watching Cocomelon. It's like I'm watching a cartoon. Like, is this?
Nigeria is very unreal.
Nigeria is not unreal. It's very unreal, like you said. But Mr. Dikwa has already accepted fate, kind of, but not really. But at the same time, what do you think this government now, they've entered now? What do you think they have for us? Young people like me now, me, 16 and a half, young boy now, fresh.
Yeah, can you stop?
Young.
Guy, you're 40.
My future
is all these things are 40. My
future is far. My future is far. I'm a youth. So like, what do you think this government?
We are all still very young.
As long as as far as I'm concerned, this government, what they have for you is to find ways to Japa. That's why Mr. Dikwa is here to tell me how.
How you can.
Right timing.
To tell me how.
The time is right.
Impeccable timing, right?
See, I'm already looking for how do they apply visa, everything. It turns so Canadian podcast. So like, what do you think?
That means making plans with that's you.
No. You can't leave me here now. Do you want to leave? I don't know. No, we actually have to have this conversation now. So what happens to the post when you're done?
Oh, that one concern me now.
So you go leave your business.
Hey, for better life. For better
reality, man. Reality.
Just be what happened in NSAS, just young people. Like, come on.
Funny enough, I'm very impressed though. If you talk about NSAS and
there's so many first-time voters, like, because we young people are tired. For young people, for Gen Zs.
I'm actually very happy.
Let me say something.
People will just wake up and think about Wizkid and Davido and Ronaldo and Messi. We think about Obi.
I'm still thinking about it. But what I'm saying is that Peter Obi, as a believer, I see you say righteousness and the consistency of it works, because people are still talking about Wizkid and Davido. Yeah. But this man just is something unique. And whether you're a Christian or you're a Muslim or you're a non-believer or you're just there, people resonated to who he was. So the truth of the matter is that it's not that our youth have changed. It's just as they saw somebody who gave them hope, or who is giving us hope.
That's facts.
Because in NSAS, people were violent. Like, whether we like it or not, we were not violent in carrying guns and whatnot. But our voice was violent.
Yeah.
The antecedent was violent. Now, this man is telling us to chill, and we're chilling.
We're actually chilling.
So I said, people are actually looking on the judiciary.
He's presidential.
People are actually tweeting it and saying, "Oh, he's not. We're only sitting at home because PO hasn't told us."
Bro. Because he's presidential, there's something about him that just soothes and calms and just
yesterday, I was on the space with Gbagada Roads Vivo when he was talking about his plans for Lagos and all that. I don't know. There was just when Peter Obi called him while on the space. Yeah. And it was like, "Oh, please hold on. His Excellency is calling me." And like for like the first few seconds, you could hear the "Hello, Gbagada." Bro, I was just
you're out soft.
Can't this be my president? Like, why can't this be my president?
But there's a lot of optimism.
So the thing is, how I felt when they announced, I felt the same way during the NSAS massacre. Yeah. The way I felt when they announced, I felt very defeated. Yeah. The last time I wrote an opinion piece on the Nigerian society was that NSAS time. Like, my what's the word? Writer's block lasted years till Peter Obi came. Like, I lost interest in Nigeria. I lost interest in Nigerian politics or anything.
And that's one of the things. It gives us hope as young
people. But that hope came.
he also like helps us kind of like young people to be much more, to be less ignorant about what's happening in the country and be more involved
Interested.
in
Yeah.
what's
I have a word that's coming to my mind. The guy's our daddy.
yeah.
That's the truth. And I mean, I'm the only child of a single mom. I didn't really have much of my dad around and whatnot. He gives us a daddy vibe.
Yeah.
Because he's that daddy that you really like.
Mm.
You know, we're generally rebellious. Because truthfully,
True.
we should be protesting.
Actually.
But there's a daddy, like, you're like, this guy's our daddy.
And he has given reasons or
Consistent
his
not like
aura
our
is
daddies at
enough
home.
reason for us not to, because
Yeah.
he's responsible enough to be our daddy.
Yeah.
Because you know when we're growing up, your daddy will say one thing and you know he's doing something else.
This man
Exactly.
he's him.
He's
Peter
the
Obi
one.
is him.
Yeah.
Because I mean, these guys had months to dig dirt on him. There's months to say,
9
this guy is
months.
corrupt. This guy,
Well, not
but
9 months,
bro,
because since 2003, right? Where did he took that mandate from the Anambra? I think he started contesting in 2002. 2003.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and this is a guy that has been doing business for years. Like, people don't know the franchise that I used to grow up. My mom's sister loved Ovaltine. My grandmother loves Ovaltine till today. I was reading a piece. He's the franchise owner for
Are
a
you
lot of
serious?
all these brands.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's look.
I think Heinz. So Heinz.
Yeah, Heinz.
Yeah.
It's the franchise, brings it in.
All right, but back to the question
Yeah.
before diverting.
Yeah,
and,
you asked about what do I feel. The truth about it is that
Yeah.
I'm optimistic. You know, I think today LP has 47 seats in National Assembly. That has never happened. But the guys around, and they're all mostly young.
Yeah.
The guys around the guy they've declared the winner, they are all our grandfathers still. Because my grandmother is a great grandmother now. She's 86.
Yeah.
This guy is a great grandfather. The guys around him that are speaking and shouting and embarrassing themselves, and they don't know they're embarrassing themselves. They're all our daddies. They're in their 60s. So if it was 8 years ago when Buhari came out in 2014, 9 years ago, I would have been very optimistic that
Something will work.
Tinubu that was so, because at that time he does deliver those fashola.
Yes.
Like, even though I'm told his hands were tied because fashola was already chief of staff and whatnot, but as somebody who is so grassroots, you know, in my local government, I've seen the road fashola did now what 9 to 12 years ago. Yes,
Yeah.
about 12 years ago. The road is still standing.
Still standing.
Baba, go and check College Road, Aguda to Jungle. That's fashola.
Wow.
Check how many roads that Ambody and the current
So
the current guy. Some of these guys we don't need to be calling their names because your brother is upsetting. Let me tell you something. You know, my church is our CCG, so I see him sometimes go for Thanksgiving. I'm sad. Because the only picture I have of Sowolu is 2020 NSAS. He went to Abuja and was laughing with the president.
Yeah.
I can't get that picture out of my mind. I don't know about you guys.
I remember that picture.
I
Very
can't
well.
get that video rather
Very well.
on channels out of my mind. He and the president were laughing. So again, we're going to vote this weekend. So if you don't want to vote, let me appeal to you. People are suffering.
They are suffering. No.
I am here. I may not be suffering, quote and unquote, but for me, it's God's grace. People around me are suffering.
Big man.
So I think what we will see after recording.
Election money.
Yeah.
We don't
Come on,
do shishi.
come and buy our votes. Come and buy our votes.
You know, so this weekend, again, I don't know how many parties are campaigning in
Gubernatorial
Lagos.
elections,
Yeah, I know that I think there are 4 major candidates in Lagos.
Yeah.
We'll vote the one that we know is somewhat competent.
Alright.
Because we don't really know the ones in Lagos like that. But we will go with Mama Papa.
Yeah, I listened to Mama Papa picking yesterday, and he went to MIT, so
I've met him. I have.
You know me by
I have,
MIT.
I've met him. I have concerns realistically being a young person because he's not far from my age bracket, right?
Yeah.
My fears are valid in that. Okay, can you trust a young person to lead such a very big state? But then we've had the old
we've
people,
had presidents as
and
young
they were nothing to write home about.
In Nigeria.
No, Emmanuel Macron was in his
39.
30s.
Nigeria is
39,
different from
39.
France now.
Yeah.
But I mean, leadership is not, me. I strongly believe that leadership doesn't always matter. Like age doesn't really always matter in leadership.
Yeah.
And there were young kings in the Bible,
Yeah.
or there was a young king in the Bible. So.
Funny thing about this guy is also that I remember when he first came out about 8 years now, so 7 years with Koa. He was running for Koa in I think Adeni. I used to see his poster in Adeni. I don't know if he was going for House of Rep or local government. I can't remember. Right?
Yeah.
and it was very interesting. Just met, and I was like, I like the name. Then I asked my mom recently, and because my mom was, they were on the island with his family and whatnot, so like they had a popular mala joint. They're a
Yeah.
popular family in Lagos.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll vote him. We
We'll
would
vote
hold
him.
him accountable. We definitely will win because the current guy has to go.
He has
No,
to
he has
go.
to.
The current
He
guy
has
has
to.
to
Definitely.
go. Yeah.
But yeah, moving on, like you already mentioned, man, there's so many things that we young people are looking forward with this new government and so on. But one thing is consistent, and that people will always migrate. People always move on.
Yeah.
People always search for better life, and people always look for new things and new ways to to just better their life, and we as young people are in constant search of better standards of living.
Yeah.
And right now, Nigeria is not doing that thing well for us. I can't even lie to you. Just transport system, so many things, electricity, standards of living is very poor.
It's really bad.
Very
And it gets
poor and
worse
appalling.
by the month.
And then, like I said, even in the best countries, people still migrate, people still move, people still, leave.
True.
Especially education-wise now, like, people are going and leaving the country for better education, better standards of education.
Yeah.
So someone like, I feel like that's one of, I don't really know your company's policy, vision and mission, but I feel like, it should be something that should be thought through in that process.
Yeah, it is. It's funny when you say what you just say. When I studied computer science and electronics, Lead City University, Ibadan. It's a funny story. Your Nigerian curriculum still has Fortran and Java and C++. So Fortran, if you guys don't know, you can Google it. That programming language probably expired like 15, 20 years ago.
Jesus. And they still teach it
And they're still
in
teaching
Nigerian
it.
schools.
So I mean, I went to school how many years ago? Just to tell you, what am I saying? 20 years. It probably expired longer than that. What's so spot on is that we've stopped improving education. My parents used to talk about whites coming to Ife when they were in school, Unilag. There was comparative education. Those are big terms now. You may not understand, right? But for
No go underrate us.
but generally,
actually don't.
Yeah, that's how that Mauritius
I'm
thing
not
felt.
surprised.
Yeah, that's
I'm
how
not
that
surprised you
Mauritius
know
thing
it.
felt. But people who come from different countries to just exchange the ideas, the knowledge,
Knowledge,
Who wants to
education.
come and do that here now?
But why do Nigerians go to search for education and they don't come to come back?
Yeah,
home?
true. I've actually asked
There's a
myself,
there's a
why is there no Japa into Nigeria?
Yeah, there's a funny story on that. We don't have the time for that. But even on that, Fashola brought this health, I don't know, a health guy into the country to come and do some things for him. They frustrated him out of the civil service.
Wow.
Yeah, people want to come back.
Wow.
Let me tell you something. GIV doesn't become the governor or he becomes the governor. People like that become the governor. If they are serious about making Nigeria better, they will bring those people back.
True.
Because GIV, for instance, now, MIT, his wife, Oxford and Harvard. Did you hear that baby speak?
See, he brain day, he be like my brain. He brain, he did.
Be like what?
He be like my brain.
Be like your what? You.
brain, he
What's
dey.
comparative education?
What's what?
Comparative education.
So compare him now.
Something you just said now.
So if GIV becomes the governor, I think we were correcting ourselves on Twitter yesterday. When he becomes the governor, right?
Yes.
I want to assume that even if he does not make all of them commissioners, he can bring them as special assistants because
Yeah,
these people will come
definitely.
back.
Yeah, true.
And it doesn't mean that they are not good heads here because I want to believe I'm a good head. I mean, I schooled here and I think that I'm good, but
Yeah, they are good
you
heads.
need
It's
you
evident.
need
We are
comparative
good heads.
you need comparative education because the guy who has left this country to go school abroad, he's also not in touch with what's going on here.
true.
Which when we get to that, but that's also what makes us successful in my business is that if you tell me, oh, you're a consultant and you're in Canada and I'm here, you don't know just like I don't know what's going on there.
There.
You don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
The only difference is that your embassy is here and your embassy is telling me the same thing it's telling you.
True.
So there has to be that consistency to understand that things are changing here. So when those guys come here, the best that they can probably do is to say, okay, look, guys, this is what progressive countries are doing now. This is where we are. How can we just begin to make some progress?
True.
And that really is. So you asked about the vision of our business. Yeah, that really is the vision of our business. The truth of the matter is, the vision of my business, you have to go back to the Bible. People have been immigrating since the Bible, if you believe the Bible. Abraham was probably...
Sorry, I forgot to add he's our spiritual father.
No.
He's guessing there.
I just love
like
the Lord.
Pastor.
No.
Reverend.
No. I have run away from those things. I
No,
love
Mr.
the
Adepoye,
Lord.
it will still come back.
So what my point is, from being a young child who all those Bible stories they used to give us in church and whatnot, Abraham probably was the first person to Japa. Leave your father and mother, take your wife, and both.
Go and multiply.
So
Son
my
of
point,
Abraham.
so people don't, so yes, there's money in it. There is the problem that we face in Nigeria, but the reality to Japa and immigration today is that it's part of life, just like you rightly said.
Yeah.
Even the whites leave.
Their
Like,
country.
I'm gonna go to Quora and read. You see Canadians going to Germany,
Yeah.
and you see Americans going to Germany.
Facts.
You see them going to Italy. The only headaches there is the whites relate with themselves, the racism and whatnot. But everybody will Japa. So if you don't have that understanding, there's the profit making side, there's the problem of Nigeria side and Africa and all that. But realistically, we are all called for one thing or the other. And
Wait, just before you go in, just give like a breakthrough of what your company does. So people can have like better understanding. You know?
So I started my first business 10 years ago. Just consulting. I loved education as a whole. It's funny, right? Because I studied computer science and electronics. But when I started Ile-iwe, I think I got that name. And funny story, right? I think I'm probably the first person in Nigeria to be using it, and it's just indigenous name. The only thing was that I wasn't smart enough to go register. So if you want to look at CAC records, right, I wasn't like I didn't have that knowledge of go and register the name. But that time it was still BlackBerry. So if you understand how long, so I put it on my status. And I was asking all my friends that time on maybe I had maybe 100 or 150 contacts from secondary school and whatnot. And I was asking them, do I use Akowe, Alakowe, Ile-iwe, Ile-eko? And they voted. And that's how I got Ile-iwe. Funny story, right? But I was passionate about if the Alibabas and all these other guys are using their own cultural names, why can't I use my own cultural name? Yeah. And at least if you're in the Southwest, you must do Yoruba in school. Yeah. So if you hear Ile-iwe, you at least, it will shall click. I mean, you see the education behind it. It will something will click. Yeah. And that's been a telling tale for us because people would just come like, I'm fascinated about this name. Why did Yeah, so that's really how we started Ile-iwe. Started the business now 7 years ago. I was working, I worked for people, served. I've done more service than working actually. Served people and I was really just passionate about helping people, counseling. That's really how that started. So we started Ile-iwe 7 years ago. We got some partnerships and we started telling people, we can help you. What do you want to do? Whether you have a good result, you don't have a good result, you want to go to school, you need direction. I mean, funny story. I mean, a lot of us, now have this CU, Babcock, Redeemers, all these private school connections, right? Yeah. And one of my biggest stories today, in my time with Ile-iwe is I had a friend. Well, no, not that I had a friend. She's now my very, very close friend. Yeah. But she's a client, or she was a client then. Yeah. She was 7. She went to Covenant. And I had a session with about 6 of them. Yeah. And she was the only one that really came back with her cousin. So the 2 of them came back and we had... So what we usually do sometimes is we do personality tests, just because some people are not sure of what they want to go study, all those things. Yeah. And she didn't have a very good result, but she was passionate about going to sports. And she was like, she didn't have that opportunity here. Long story short, I sent her to France. She had 2 admissions, got scholarships with her result.
So was she your first client?
No, but one of the most memorable. This is not a Christian podcast because the funny story about her was also, I was coming to the office that day at Allen and church. No, from but for my quiet time in the morning. So they were coppers. They were 7. They were all went there and they were going to Domino's. You know all those copper life there. Those of us at school that did. So they were all going to Domino's to have pizza and whatnot. I think one of them was having their birthday. And I came down from Napep that day, still in the trenches at the time, right? And I came down from Napep that day in a better Lagos, right? When you didn't even need to drive, but that's another commercial for that day. And I approached them. Okay. It was scary because I don't like rejection like that. I'm personable, but I didn't want, so I went to the guy first. So there was one guy and 6 girls. It's a funny story, right? And that's how I met her. Today we're very close. I will see her very soon. And she's abroad now, whatnot. So, but it was that step of wanting to help people, not really about the money.
But how did you learn
the business process? Oh yeah, I served. I worked with someone. I met him in my church. He came so I mean, the beauty of church and whatnot, they used to do, youth churches would do like business Sundays and whatnot. So I worked with one of the the guys that came to teach at in church. he just had a business Sunday about how to maybe own a business, something like that. And he was diverting into education. I was already in education, so I wanted to just work with him. I enjoyed what he said. And I went to his office and he wanted me to actually partner with him because I was going to just toe the entrepreneurship line, but I wanted to serve. I wanted to also prove to myself that I could lead, but I could also follow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's really so I served.
So in layman terms, what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, so what do we do today? I mean, now I can say I'm an expert, right? Now I can say that I've done well in the game of education counseling, which is the first thing. People don't understand. People assume that my business is just about money. You know, where you want to Japa, give me money, you have the money, you go. You know, it's really about counseling, and that's that's the first thing I excel in.
Yeah.
Then of course you have to market schools. So if the person has money, like you now, if you get the money, you won't go abroad and whatnot. I market certain schools to you based on what you like. But then the third thing is today everybody wants to go to UK, Canada. That's like the main thing. So my job is to counsel, look at your documents, make sure that everything is on par, advise you. Maybe you are looking at immigration policies, you don't want to come back, that kind of thing.
Another question that I also have to ask is, like, what's someone that is looking to study now in the UK, in the US, like, what are the basics that you need to, be able to go to study?
I mean, so generally for the undergrad WAEC, that's the most simple one for undergrad.
This guy. How you now do it now? Without your WAEC, how do you want to do it?
I have my WAEC. Special center.
With your special center result, how do you want to do it?
Yeah. So even for postgrad, you will still need WAEC.
Okay.
So if you have a
certificate or just the results.
Gas confirm.
You need to confirm your result.
Gas confirm.
You need to confirm your result. So where they waive WAEC, they probably ask. I don't think WAEC is going anywhere. So when you don't have WAEC for postgrad, sometimes
I just need clarification. It's not about me,
bro. It's you.
Is it actually just the result of the certificate?
No.
Wait, which one is certificate again?
So before it used to take like 5 to 7 years to get it. Today now, our brothers and sisters at WAEC have made it better. I think I get it in a couple of months. So it's the shiny one. So there's a printout you take scratch card. Now they put the scratch card even in your card, and you can just check. So you could see the slip. But now you get the shiny thing that shows like, oh, it's an actual
certificate.
So I have to get that one now.
So that's what schools prefer. But ideally, most schools in Canada and UK, some of them, they just buy, you get your scratch card and send to them, they can verify on the WAEC website.
Well, you send the scratch card to them?
Yeah.
And then they'll just
verify that it's really true. Because you can doctor all those things. I mean, the embassies feel like we are not, I mean, our names are out there for both good and bad. And when it comes to documents, they don't believe that Nigerians
mostly bad.
Yeah, but mostly, yeah. So that's not good.
So
WAEC,
get that one now.
Well, so I mean, at the undergrad level, that's really what you need on your passport, international passport. But at the postgrad level, you probably need to put a CV together depending on the course, then your certificate and transcript. Yeah.
About this like letter of sponsorship.
That's visa. Those are visa headaches. So if your papa, like him now, we don't tell us, hey, papa get PA. So if you won't go now, your popsy PA go type.
I'm shy.
Your popsy PA go type letter. So your popsy provides his bank statements. At a certain age, your popsy can still sponsor you. But if really and truly Dami is over 40, so you would expect Dami.
Definitely.
You would expect Dami to provide his own bank statements and evidence.
Is there an age cutoff for that?
Yeah.
Serious?
Yeah. There's no cutoff for education. But again, if you go back to how they feel about Nigerians and if they believe you, so like 35-year won't go back, go undergrad. Make it make sense. So in my office, what I try to do is we set a benchmark of 25 to about 27 for undergrad and 33 to 35 for masters generally. Because it affects your visa success.
So he can't go for a master's?
No, he can go.
He's 40.
It depends on what thing you want to go do.
Oh, okay.
If you do MBA. So MBAs, I have people that MBA 45, 50, I still have people that I send abroad.
So speaking of, so like this now, I get like 20 years. See, they prefer through your agency. I still get like 20 years because I'm 15.
Okay.
Now. So, but speaking of visa, like visa processing, like, give us how to process visa, especially like education wise. Like if I'm going to school abroad now, just layman because some people actually do not know anything. People do not know the processing of Japa and visa processing. There's so many things people learn. They have to start calling people abroad. How did you go about this? So just like help, just give an understanding on visa processing, especially education wise, because education wise is what people use to Japa now.
Yeah, I mean it's not just because I mean we have now, like I said, I'm the lead consultant for also my Japa Limited, and Japa, we just jumped on that name, right?
Yeah.
And so with that, we also do immigration to Canada, right? So we now have
outside
we're registered, outside school. So anything immigration to Canada we can do now. We're registered, work all those things, yes. So, but ideally, if I wanted to use maybe UK for a case study, right? So you come to me, you want to go to the UK, you have a budget. Let's assume you have because the most popular thing that I hear every day is, what's the cheapest budget? So let's assume you are going to UK.
What's actually the cheapest budget?
It depends. At master's level, maybe 11 to 12,000 pounds, right? Depending on the school.
That's cheap now.
So I think CBN rate today is about 580.
580k.
Yeah, CBN rate.
CBN
from black market 900 plus. So let's assume that's the cheapest, and I'm going to guess that's about 6.5, 6 to 7 million. Let's assume that's the cheapest.
For school fees alone.
For school fees alone, right? No, the school fees alone. School fees alone, about that. Now it's about 3,000 to 4,000 averagely, because they now know that you guys don't want to Japa. So once you pay that, that really is the first commitment that shows your proof of funds. So when you do that for the UK, then they give you what is called a CAS. Yeah. Right. And that's a confirmation certificate of acceptance of studies, something like that.
Okay.
So that basically is the document you provide the embassy. US and UK have a similar relationship where they have documents that relate with sort of like the homeland, like the government. So that's what that CAS does. So once you receive your CAS, it also means that you have satisfied the school's requirement for proof of fund.
Okay.
So for the UK, it is your school fees plus your living expense. If you are within London, the living expense is about £11,000. So plus your school fee, let's say it was 13, that'll be £24,000. So you need to show that in your proof of funds for 30 days for the UK. It's outside London, like it's about 9,000.
So basically, you have to keep 15 million in your bank account.
Exactly, for 30 days.
15 million naira.
Yes. So once you do that, you get your CAS, you use that document to apply for your visa.
But is it like the 15 million just comes, or like it has to show that the 15 million is working in your
So
account?
for the UK, it's 30 days. So it's really 28 days. We say 30 days.
Yeah.
But we don't want to say when that money was dumped in. So it counts the day after that money was, and you print that bank statement. That really is what they want.
How about for Canada? Canada and US?
They have to pay me for that. So the UK is easy, straightforward. I have 100% record with the UK. With Canada, I have over a better than 90% record. So it puts me at the top.
I was researching recently. I saw an article where there was like a success rate for Canada visa at 21% for Nigerians. That's really low.
How many years ago was that? Because I think we were like 11 or 12%. How many years ago? Yeah.
11.
Yeah. We've been back. We've been below 20% for like 7 years now.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey. So and
I've heard people like 3 times Canada.
Yeah. And
that's why he doesn't want to drop the secrets.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I did the UK for free.
I'm sure behind him. So
I did the UK for free. I can do that. I can even talk about US, but Canada. So it's not that I can't even talk about it. It's a very delicate matter, because it's not straightforward like the US, like the UK or US.
Yeah.
Because everybody's profile would not usually fit. So if I don't speak and then somebody hears me and says, I followed what you said and I got rejected, you may not know. I won't have time today to talk about the intricacies.
Yeah.
And right now, I mean, I got a visa in 6 days. Like
Canada visa.
Yeah, like 3 weeks ago. People don't believe. Like, if you go to our Instagram, my social media manager is always sending me DM of people saying that you just be lying. Just be lying. And I was telling them on Saturday, I said,
if I didn't know you personally, tell me.
Yeah, exactly.
My first instinct is,
and that's also because some people have been waiting for visa for 1 year.
Yeah.
So Canada has had the backlog since COVID. Currently, they announced 2 weeks ago, last week, about 2.1 million now backlog. But I told them on Saturday, if you didn't do it, didn't they?
Yeah.
If you don't know how to do it, you don't know how to do it. Now, so what is really just happening now is for this particular person that we got
Wait, what's the success rate of your company like this?
For Canada, we're better than 90%. In fact, one of my colleagues, Eunice, she will not let me rest because I pad it to like 85%. So that people don't feel like, oh, we are being too prideful. But for us, better than 9 in 10.
He's sure for you.
So it's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Just like my principal, like they used to say, Peter Obi.
Mm.
Yeah, it's my principal. Like besides, we already highlighted our daddy, right?
He's our president.
So like, just like we say, okay, we don't do fraudulent stuff. We don't give, we don't take. If you don't have your documents, I can't work for you. So that will keep my success rate high. So if I get 100 leads, if only 10 of them can afford to go, I'll work with 10. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
And I will build small. But what happens is every time they can hire things that I can be an agent, it's laptop. So they just collect documents. They will even help you forge documents. They will forge bank statements. If you give me a forged document, it was not me that did it. That's on you.
So you cannot help people do.
No. I don't go through the corners. I'm like my principal. That's where the class.
That's funds.
Yeah.
Shall for funds? It's always like when people.
Yeah, people always.
And I'm. Yeah.
Like Nigerians always find the.
Yeah, we always want the quick. Well, Indomie. I mean, someone used to tell me about the Indomie arrogant Range Rover generation. We doesn't want everything back, quick. And it doesn't work that way. Good things usually go through a process.
True. But why is the high rate of like denials?
Yeah, so that's exactly it now. You go to Mr. Tom or Mr. Jerry, who doesn't know anything, you pay him. So these days, because of this 6-day visa we got, people are visiting the office regularly. Me that I used to enjoy. Maybe I see 10% of my clients and I used to enjoy it. Because people know me. People refer, all those things, they trust you. Yeah. Easy. Now everybody wants to come to the office.
Yeah, you go run my own sooner. Like.
And so they would have gone, they will come, they'll say to you, what they'll say? I've been denied visa twice. I've been denied 3 times. How?
I've seen somebody 4 times. 4.
So what happens?
Every year since 2018 has been trying.
So what happens is that the agent just says, oh, bring your documents, I'll give you a bank statement.
So you need bank statement.
You need your bank statement. So if you don't have the money, don't go. Don't try. It's hard to say that because maybe you say, oh, we don't have any idea, but that's the reality.
So agents personally forge statements for clients.
Yeah.
And I'm sure some clients give me statements that because I can verify. My own job is to tell you to send it to the embassy. But agents do. So when people text me, I will call you, oh, how much your service charge? And I say, oh, service charge is 750K. So does it include POF? I said, no. And the person like, it does not include POF. We don't do it. If you want a loan, the embassy does not even have a problem with the loan.
Yeah.
Because you can go get a loan. Then declare that you got a loan. And bring it will help you.
But if I declare now, will they give me the visa?
Oh, yeah, they will. I had a friend who just got his medical request. He got a loan from his income like 17 million. Yeah. The problem is that we are, again, I mean, look at all our antecedents of Yahoo, all these things. We always like the corners. We always like all these short. And that really, that really is it. So, I mean, so now we're trying to, like you said earlier, I'm trying to be king of Japa. I'm trying to be the king of.
You are. I'm giving you that title already.
That's how you help us. You help me.
Yeah, I mean, your subscribers, if they come through you, I'm pretty sure we can even give them a discount. Definitely.
Are you people listening?
I love
listening.
I love helping people. I love helping
One of the
people.
hosts we will get. If the subscribers are getting certain discount, we are getting full
discount.
I feel like if I give you discount, if I want to come back for the next Japa series, how you would have gone. So maybe after the 4th one,
we'll fly you in.
We'll fly you. Okay, yeah, if that's the case, no problem. But if after the 3rd series, I will consider it to you. Till then, only your even your family members, bring your sister, bring your brother, your uncle and auntie. I will help them.
Everybody.
But the 2 of you, I like to be back, so you guys can
fly you in.
Yeah,
but what countries do people go mostly? Like
right now, I think everybody wants to go to Canada, but because they can't get in, so they go to the UK. I think UK is number 1.
So that would be like home away from home like this.
But like, what's the
6 hours? It's 6 hours.
What's the
5 hours
benefits
of going to the UK?
Of Canada? Like, why are people rushing Canada?
Developed nation that's still developing. 2nd largest landmass voted one of the happiest places.
But we personally see wife like this. What's that?
Trust me, if you're on the Twitter streets and you're on all these Instagram streets, you see a lot of babes that are single, that are Nigerians and Africans that are looking for good guys.
But then they can be like, like you said, and one thing about Canada is that population density. The land area is not proportional to the population.
Yeah.
So like, even if you find the person can be
geography
like,
boy.
the person can be like
Geography boy.
We need to see that as WAEC.
I'll check.
Although, if you remember, he
Actually,
said
very well.
SS2.
Actually,
SS2.
He never really could tell us about SS3.
SS2A.
You said
Yes,
C the
geography.
other time. These are who see
so
fraud.
we-
I
need to
couldn't
see
remember
your
it was C.
We need to see
But
WAEC.
don't worry, when I was to Japa, you go see.
Yeah. So Canada does, yes, it has all the benefits, and the major one is the immigration policy. Like, the policy is set now for people to keep coming into like 2035. It won't change. It's not like
Serious?
UK has their policy now. It's been like,
I get time.
I think UK has their policy now, and it's been there for like 4 or 5 years. But we're already hearing them debates to reduce it again.
Yeah.
So they will bring us in like, all those, like Titanic, they will bring us in a big cruise for a couple of years, and then when they see that we're enough, then they'll shut it up.
Shut it down.
So when the UK shuts down again, very soon I'm optimistic, because the election is coming up in the next year. Because they're parliament, they can just declare election anytime. So I'm expecting that they will reduce it from 2 years to 6 months again. And in that time, I like the clients I'll be getting, because the clients I'll be getting, they will build our money. They want to those go. Not the ones today that will be fighting POF. We'll be using calculator. I only have 12 million. We'll be using calculator of how we can get the school and everything to fit. But when they reduce it, it will be the people that can afford it that will be able to go. And then scholarships. UK is big on scholarships, just like the US is big on scholarships.
Yeah, so like you said now, I'm still going to go back because you did not answer my question.
Okay.
Canada now, how you go find spouse? Nigerian, because I won't even lie to you, there's this, there's this notion of, okay, be open-minded when you get to like your partner, like young people too. That's one thing people also consider. Like, I've had conversations with fellow young people, like my guys, they'll just be like, things like, will I feel at home? Like, will I feel, will I see the cultural shock, like Nigerians, will I see a fellow Nigerians who marry?
So the question is, are you cool?
There are lonely people in Canada. There are lonely
yeah.
Nigerians in Canada.
And it's our upbringing. So the question for me to you guys is, how do you feel about marrying a Korean?
Don't watch K-drama.
Okay, so go to Netflix. Are we allowed to? Am I going to be promoting them? There's this lovely series on Netflix, Kim's Convenience.
Is it K-drama?
No, it's a lovely film. It's not K-drama.
Is it Korean?
Yeah. No, made in Canada. It's Canadian. But the story of immigration of Koreans. Lovely film.
What was the name?
Well, lovely up until like season 3, because then everything agenda began to agenda after season 3. But my point is that if you've got to be open-minded.
Yeah.
So when you go there, are you looking for your own culture, or are you looking to meet the person that will make you happy? So let's not go into relationship talk, but like, what's your goal? Yeah. And I also think that, ISF released their list. One of these statistics companies and whatnot. Nigeria is currently number 5 in the top 15 of countries that are sending people. I think they are saying now that there are about 21,000 Nigerians in schools in Canada. So we're plenty there. So that you don't have a problem with that.
I don't, definitely, eventually you will obviously find.
The challenge may be what your taste is.
Yeah.
But there are enough Nigerians.
So what if you don't find your spec in Canada?
That would be between him and God. That would be between him and
God. Yeah, so
and it's not. Sorry, I should say it's not only through school. You've been talking about school, getting your spouse and all that. I have a number of people who they are babes from here, or they met the babe one way or the other, came here. Maybe she came for Dirty December or came for experience, because these days I'm here. I didn't know that one until December. Some come for Dirty, some come for experience and outpouring. These are, But my point is, you're familiar. So they come. So you meet the person here, and the person is a Canadian citizen. You can marry the person and go as a spousal. So I can do immigration for you to Canada. It could be spousal, it could be permanent, it could be provincial. So
if you have Canadian passport, just text me.
Let me give you the gist. Go to your yearbook. Go to Facebook.
Nice to see. I'm happy you're here.
Different tips.
Baba,
but the
you'll be
second-
surprised how
the
many
sec-
of your friends have
the
Japa
secondary school I
on
went to.
What university?
Grammar school.
What?
Igbobi
Oh,
College.
yeah, I went to one of the best universities. In short, the best university in Nigeria. So yeah.
Are you about to be a covenant boy?
No, but I mean it's the truth that everybody knows C is the best university in Nigeria.
I mean, I love the
went to
confidence that
Covenant
Papa-
too now.
Really?
Yeah, you went to
He
Covenant
shock
now.
you.
No, I'm wondering. Don't they verify why? Okay, sorry. I wrote covenant exam. I did interview. I'm pretty sure they
No,
verified.
he has an uncle that is in management. So that's an issue. That's the issue.
Me, Papa, no, yeah. Papa, I'm just joking. Just joking.
Me, I wrote it, I passed it, don't worry. I'm a son of winners.
So imagine, go to your yearbook, Google some of them.
Yeah, now my secondary school
Sign them
now.
on Instagram.
My
You
secondary
see
school now I
them
can find, but he's
I went to one of the best secondary schools in Lagos. Yeah. You think I'm joking?
there. What's the food?
Yes,
What's
don't
that?
ask for the food. I
Oh,
went to yes. Hey.
If you
I went to
sure-
yes. Just leave it
Let's
at
forget
that.
about it.
I mean, I can brag. I went to Christ Redeemer's College, Shagamu. One of the
This
best
guy, your
schools.
life now redeem.
I mean, only son of a single mother. She gave her life to Christ and whatnot. So I became she's a church mommy and a church boy. So it was first, SIS, Salvation International Primary, Redeem CRC. It was only Covenant that I did my spirit, because already at that time I was sharp. I want to go to advanced secondary school. You went to an advanced secondary school. You know you went.
Why didn't you go to
Yeah.
Redeemers, the university? You could have just continued. that.
No, Redeemers University was
They weren't standard at the time.
it's not that. It was, you know how we used to say things were dead.
Yeah, they weren't.
They
I think they're fairly new, so
It was like, I don't know, it just had this vibe.
yeah,
C was still even manageable.
yeah.
He had this, maybe it was just then. Maybe that time I didn't really know God, though. But I felt like Redeemers and Bowman were like church extensions. And then CU was like advanced secondary school. So
They still call it that. So
Still.
no, but trust me, I'll send my children to Covenant. With what I know now.
yeah.
We'll discuss this after the
Discuss
podcast.
another one.
Because-
Mr. Dikpo.
We didn't talk about our conference.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to mention that. Yeah,
True.
I was going to mention that.
It was. I mean, it's an interesting conversation, but we didn't talk about. We have a conference because, like I said, I'm giving your listeners. I think we're doing 25%. I'm not sure it's 20-25, but
Are you here? If you want to Japa,
But I want them to even come for the conference. We have a
Conference.
conference happening 25th of March, Saturday,
Yeah.
from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's the whole day.
25th of March.
25th of March, Saturday. And it's happening at Gbagada, the zone.
Added to my calendar.
Yes. So we'll be talking about, it's school only. School only. Please don't come if you are looking for school. Well, if you are looking for scholarship, if you have a first class, I may create time for you. But ideally, really, realistically, we just want people who can Japa.
Yeah.
Because, deadlines. So schooling abroad has deadlines. It has intakes. You've got
Yes.
September, January, May, which are the popular ones. So we are targeting the September rush. And so
Okay.
we want students to come talk to us. We'll do on-spot applications to our
Okay.
partner schools or direct applications to other schools, because that's what we do. And
Okay.
so it's going to be fun. Come with your documents,
Yeah, ready.
invite your friends,
I'll be there.
come to the
First
zone.
class students like us already.
Yeah. So if you have, trust me, you have ND, you have HND, you have third class. I don't discriminate. I'm the best at what I do. And
Serious.
trust
King
me,
of Japa for a reason.
I don't brag.
King of Japa for a
third
reason.
class,
HND lower credits, third
Everything.
class, pass.
If you get
Come.
if you get WAEC certificate.
Come.
If you not get work,
I have students
You don't
who
get
did
SSC.
WAEC 10 years later. Come. Trust me.
Are
We'll
you-
find something
Are
for
you
you.
even listening? Mr.
We'll find
Dikpo,
something for you.
Mr. Dikpo is here for us.
We'll find something for you. We'll find something for you. So come. The conference is happening.
All right, Mr.
Uh,
Dikpo, thank you
yes.
for honoring our invitation.
Yes.
And
yes,
thank you
yes,
for
yes.
enlightening our listeners. And I'm
Definitely.
sure those of you who've listened, you have to be at the conference. You just have to. If you're in Lagos, Gbagada is like
Central
central.
location.
Did you get? It's not
So
far from the island.
They can even follow our Instagram and Instagram pages
Yeah,
are usually
for more
the best for
information.
more information. So
Yeah.
just in case anything happens, because this is Nigeria, right? Should in case we add another location,
Yeah.
any news,
Any updates
anything
you
you need
need.
to do, follow us at Ile-iwe_edu or at Japa Partners.
You see it at the episode description too. So
Yes.
just be ready.
Yes.
So thank you.
And please go out to vote.
Please go out to vote
Wait.
to vote.
and you know you are voting for now. Mama, Papa, picking. No
Mama, Papa,
stress.
Pikin, that's all.
Character, competence,
Character,
and
competence, and
capacity.
capacity.
CCC. Thank you.
Don't eat agbado. One love.
Enjoy.
It's actually
enjoy
out
the-
of season.
Enjoy your week. Thank
Thanks.
you guys.
It was nice being here, guys.